Well, it's Christmas time again. This will be the 30th one for me. But when Christmas time comes around, there's always a lot of lights available. Usually a lot easier to come across than other times of the year. At the Dollar Tree right now, you can get white, yellow, red, and blue 10 LEDs that work off a AA battery pack for $1. I've had 10 of them, but some of them are open. As you can see in this bag, I actually have a bunch of them already taken apart, ready to be wired up. I have figured out how to get rid of this this AA battery pack and run it directly off the BEC voltage. Usually the BEC voltage, I can't remember exactly what it stands for, battery exclusion circuit. Basically what that does is it sends power to your steering servos. If you're running a nitro, it powers your steering servo and your throttle and brake servo. I'm sorry about a lot of uhs. I'm trying to learn not to say those as much. This is a spontaneous video. So basically what you're going to want to do with these, the white ones, if you run them off, you're going to have to use the resistor. And the red and yellow ones, there is this little resistor that is connected right to the switch. It is silver, black, green, and brown. You can actually look that up and find out exactly what resistance it is. But with the white, you're going to have to use one of these resistors. I've actually done this to my Armorator, and all I have to do is turn the on switch, and I have some bright lights. I mean, they're very bright. Bright enough, I mean, I really don't look at it to light up the entire trail. I mean, some vehicles I would do that. And I'm also going to wire these two buckets in. These are the standard buckets. I just used I can't remember the name of the tool, a body post. I can't remember the name of this tool, damn it. But I started with that, and then I would use a drill bit to make it go all the way through. So there would be a perfect hole, and then I would ream it out. Oh yeah, a body hole reamer. So basically you just ream out the hole, just big enough for the LED to fit. And as you can see, like on that one, there's just one LED. I may put a second one in. But with there being 4 and it running off, the white ones can take about 3 to 4.5 volts. The red and yellow, the white and blue can take 3 to 4.5 volts. The red and yellow can only take about 2 volts. So if you're running the white ones, all you need is one resistor in line. With the red and yellow, you're going to need 2 resistors in line. So there's a way you can do it. Just tap into the middle of the 2 resistors for the white, and blue if you want to go with blue, and for red and yellow, tap into the second resistor in line because they're going to be in series, which just series is one resistor right after the other. I'm not going to get into parallel and all that stuff. And basically you just wire it up. A lot of them, I just cut these wires off because all this isn't going to fit. I just make the LED fit. I solder it up and use some hot glue to get it stuck in place. I still have some vehicles to do, like my HPI RS4 Sport 3 Drift with brushless system and all kind of stuff. My RS4 Nitro 3 Evo Plus. My RS4 Evo Nitro. But this is a very cheap way to light up your cars. all of these lighting, all of these lights that I have bought is the cost of one system. I also bought these lights, these red lights from Walmart. It's 30 red LED teeny lights. They're very small LEDs, but on a 10th scale car, they're plenty big enough. These can actually operate at 4.5 volts. So if you just use these and white, all you have to do is use one resistor. Because if you try to use 6 volts, I actually tried it, 6 volts straight into these LEDs, for one, you're going to blow these very fast. You're going to blow every one on the line. So to test it, I did a lot of experimenting to figure out how it could be done. I used the balance lead off a battery, off a LiPo, but that's not enough voltage. I then used a separate battery, like a 9 volt. I then tried using the AA pack that comes with it, but I found the easiest way was just to take the resistor, wire it up in series from the BEC. Basically, let me see if I can find where is that part? I can find it real quick. I can show you how it's done. It's not in there. You see, I got several bags of it. Here it is. So basically what you're going to want to do is, this is a servo. This is from a Traxxas mini servo. You're going to take the wire and strip it off and find out which is positive, which is negative. If you look at the wires, one is silver and one is copper. So one looks more aluminum and one looks more copper. So the silver or copper, the aluminum would be your ground. And you just put it in there like that. And then the red would be your positive. And then you plug it in. You bend it over and you plug this in to your receiver. That will send power out. Just pretend this LED isn't there. That will send power out to all the LEDs in the vehicle. But you have to remember, after you put that into the servo, on the positive side, you're going to need to wire up 2 of the resistors. Or 1 if you're doing it the way I'm doing it. So here's the resistor. You just break it off. And I just fold it over, get the wire in there, and then I solder it in place. So you take the wire, put it over the positive side, and then put your next wire, or it could even be the wire going straight to your LED, on this side of the resistor, and your voltage will drop down from 6 volts to a manageable level for these LEDs without blowing them. And this is very cheap. It takes a little bit of time because you're having to wire it up all yourself. Like, you can actually see the wires coming out of the buckets. Even up front here. I'm going to clean it up some. But just some hot glue to hold everything in place. And just solder each one as you go. It's really an easy thing to do and simple thing to do. And the biggest thing is, it's cheap. You get, pretty much for $20, you get all your RC vehicles, 1 white and 1 red. This will do 15 vehicles if you're just doing 2 taillights. If you're doing 4, you're looking more at 7. But with the white, 2 to 4 of them per car. 2, honestly, is bright enough. But with my Raider, since it's a very high-speed vehicle, I wanted enough light to be able to see things. I still haven't put tail lights in it. That's why I got these. These can take as much voltage as the white. The white does not have a resistor. It just has a white wire. Only the red and the yellow has a resistor. You can actually see the resistor right there. And it's same silver, black, green, brown. If you want, you can look those up online and just have those resistors shipped to you. that will drop the BEC voltage from 6 volts down to usually around 4.5 volts, which will make the whites glow brighter than they usually would using this, but it will blow out the red and the yellow. So, like I said, with the red and the yellow, you have to use 2 resistors in series to drop the voltage even more, but they'll still be plenty brighter than they would be with just 2 AA's. That's only about 3 volts, but then when you put the resistor in, it's going to drop it to about 2 volts. But that's the main thing. You have to use the resistor. If you don't use it, like with this one right here, the resistor is right here. I don't know how well that's going to show up, but the resistor is right here, right next to the ESC, but it's covered in hot glue. I have a new vehicle. Well, not new, but new to me. It's relatively new. That baby is huge. I will be doing somewhat of a build series on this. The dog bones, one of this side dog bone pins broke at the outdrive cups at the diff. It needed a new clutch bell, which is somewhere. Yeah, here's a new clutch bell. New clutch bell. The dog bones are... This is the HPI Baja 5 SC. It's the strongest out of all the Bajas. You have the 5B, the 5T, and then the 5SC. The 5SC, this brand new is $1,350. I got it for about a third of that price. And there's nothing wrong with it except a clutch bell needs to be put on and dog bones. So we'll be seeing more of that, and it does need a body. I mean, you can see tape, and on the other side it's even cracked some. So there's an idea on how you can get, if you're good with wiring and you really don't want to spend $20 on each vehicle, you can just wire it straight up to the servo where it plugs into the receiver, the black and red. With others you have orange, like High Tech, I can't remember exactly what color combo they use. Sadwalks uses a different color combo. But all you have to do is find out your negative and positive. I will say that if you don't want to use the resistor for the red, you can just tap into the sensor wire and then go to the ground wire. It won't be all that bright, but it will work. It'll make it so you can see it at night, but we all want our vehicles to look somewhat scale, and that's what I was able to do with the Raider XL brushless. Now this is the only car I've done thus far. I've bought all this stuff. I've been sick. Oh, there's the other one. Yeah, there's the old clutch bell from that 5SC. He sheared the screw off, and I mean it looks bad. He damn near sheared the flat part where the pinion gear bolts up to it. But here's the parts that I need with it. Here's the pinion gear. It's still relatively fine. It'll work. It got a little sheared, but it'll work for now just to get it running. A pinion gear is only 15-20 bucks, so that ain't much. To get it running, I mean, I could just slap those parts on, but first I'm going to pull out all the electronics, the motor, and I'm going to pressure wash the entire vehicle. I'm going to wash the body. This came from Colorado. The guy just moved from Colorado to here, doesn't have enough time to run it, so he sold it for a damn cheap price. It has less than a gallon through the tank. And I've already taken the head off and inspected everything. Everything looks great, almost brand new. So I'm going to end this video there. If anybody has any questions, I could always make a video on exactly how to wire up a vehicle using all these LEDs. I mean, that's the one thing that's nice when Christmas time comes around, is there's so much lights. You don't want to use the mini lights. Those are mini incandescent bulbs. They will shatter, they'll break, they'll be able to take the voltage better, but they're glass. And that's going to be a big problem right there. LEDs can take a little more of a beating because they're plastic. I can't remember exactly how. It's basically electrons are turned into photons. Electrons are energized, and photons are positive charged electrons, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember exactly. They're a positive. Protons, which is light, are positively charged particles, which we see, our eyes see as light. But then you have infrared light. I mean, there's so many different spectrums. And when you get into the infrared, you actually have to have a special camera to see that. But here's even a hot glue stick to show that I've been working. I mean, there's one just sitting out of all the work I've been doing. The Raider took about 2 hours to get all that done, to wire it up exactly the way I wanted it, to get all the LEDs fit in perfect, to get all the wiring tucked in perfectly. It does take a little bit of time, so you're going to have to be patient. But the end result, you're really going to love it. I will say that. Cars like this one that already have light buckets, that's going to really come in handy, because you're not going to have to poke through the outer. You can just put a hole in the light bucket, and then you're going to have a headlight. But then you have vehicles like this one, my Drift, and my bunch of my cars. There are no light buckets. Yes, I could buy some or make some, but these are already pointing almost straight out, so all I got to do is ream that hole out, stick a LED in, hot glue it in place, put some power to it, and my car is lit up. I'll be doing the same thing with my Slash, even though it's a racer. No, I probably won't be doing it with my Slash, because they're just going to get ripped right off first time that body shell gets a good hit on it. But I hope this helps, especially Christmas time. We're all trying to save some money and get gifts for everybody, everyone we love. So, hope this helps. Got any questions? You can always leave them in the comment section. I'll do my best to explain it in words, but if I can't explain it in words, or someone can't understand the words I'm saying, I can do a second video on how to actually do this. But it's not that hard. It's really not that hard at all. Just remember the resistor. If you don't use the resistor, you're going to do all that work, and then you're going to blow every single LED, because the voltage is at 6 volts. You need 4.5 or less. 4.5 for the whites and these reds, and about 3 or less for the cheap reds and yellows. And just to let you know, these at Walmart cost $7.49. These, but a 20 count at Walmart costs $4.95. So you can go to the dollar store and get 5 packs for $5. So you get 2.5 times more for the same price. You just have to go to the Dollar Tree and you have to find them. They're going to be in the Christmas section. You can't miss them. I mean, that's what they look like. That's the package. And right now I have 6. I have 4 that I've already opened, and I've started disassembling everything and getting, like you can see, here's 2 that I've already taken resistors out of, so I can use it, and I don't want to lose that resistor now, so it's going to have to go right up here. So again, I hope that helps. It'll get your 10 scale lit up cheaply without spending $20 on one car. You won't have the flashing thing unless you buy the controller, but that's not a really big deal to me. You can do this and then add the blue and red and figure out some way to make it flash, and then add a police light bar on top, and then you've done a do-it-yourself police kit. And most of this is not hard. You just have to look online. How do I do this? What do I need to do this? Although most individual electronic components you cannot find, like Radio Shack used to carry them, that's why I hate this day and age. Everything is throwawayable, basically. If it stops working, you throw it away. Not for me. If something stops working, I figure out what's wrong and then I fix it. Why throw away a $600 LED TV when usually it's probably just the lamp? Oh, low for a helicopter. Sorry. When usually it's just a lamp or something very small and very simple. And as we all know, this time of year is when money gets tight, especially if you work paycheck to paycheck. This is a really good way to get your vehicles lit up without breaking the bank. But like with, I will say this lastly, with like a Baja a 5B, you're going to want to put about 5 or 10 lights on each light bucket. The big light buckets that come on a Baja. Let's see if I can get one of them. These big light buckets, you're going to want to put, probably you're going to want to put one in every one of those holes to really make it bright for such a big vehicle. So it'll really brighten everything up. With the Raider, all I have left to do is put some tail lights in it. And that's why I got these. So I don't have to run 2 resistors in series. I can just run 1 resistor and I'll have headlights and taillights. So, circling back over. I'll live right next to an airport. So, hope this helps. Until next time, peace. Oh, yeah, I can't forget this. The giveaway is going to be a Armor Granite brushed. You can look them up on Tower Hobbies, see all the specs. I don't have it yet. I'll be ordering it January 1st. And then I will be making a video. All you have to do is comment on that video. And then I'm going to take all the names and I'm going to do a live stream. My buddy Josh has shown me how to use all the names and even do a random number of seconds. So that will really help. Wow. I'm sorry, but helicopters are flying extremely low. I'm going to have to go now and see what the hell's going on. So, thank you again for watching. Stay updated with the giveaway because somebody's going to get a free truck.